Okay, so for this video, I'm gonna be talking about the pros and cons of the resource center. They're going to resource center, and also I'm glad that in my escape or quote unquote runaway, because I really don't even like that term, but I'm not even about to go into that. But anyway, this is going to be about why I'm glad that in my escape I was able to go to a place that actually has enough homeless resources for me to be able to get by and be able to do the lay low till 18th then, because I don't think people get that actually. If it wasn't for the fact that people under 18 have no rights and you can't go to shelters. Well, I mean, not too many people want to go to a shelter anyway, but I mean, just in case you just had to for an emergency for at least a little while, you can't even do that. And you can't get a job in the situation. And that also depends on where you are, because, of course, with a missing persons report, you're not going to want to get a job or get food stamps or anything because it could be risky. Although I know I wasn't being looked for. I mean, I wasn't any of the times, because once you're 15 plus, especially depending on your ethnicity and if your parents are rich, then the police don't care to look for you anyway. So I don't think it would have been that risky for me, but I just took the extra precautions. I mean, I did actually, at least talk to people about jobs and all that, at different stores and stuff. But where I'm at, you have to have a work permit if you're under 18, which I don't even know how true that is, because a work permit is basically saying that, if you start working, you won't start falling behind in school more, or you aren't already failing. And you have to actually be in school to get a work permit. And I was like, how do I need a work permit if I'm not even in school and I already finished school? But people were definitely lying to me, I really think, because that didn't really make any sense. So it's where I'm at, I couldn't get a job anyway, but I guess it depends. I mean, you could always lie about your age, because a lot of jobs don't really check. In fact, a lot of them don't even really check to make sure you actually have the high school diploma or whatever. But anyway, it would definitely be easier if people under 18 have more rights and you didn't have to try to go through other people to get stuff, because that's how a lot of people, especially when they get really desperate, that's how a lot of people under 18 or even sometimes 18 plus fall into really, really bad situations. Although, well, no, because if I go into that, then I'll be somewhere else. But anyway, here's the pros and cons of being in the area with programs. So, one is that I was able to get this sleeping bag. This one honestly isn't hidden on jack, to be truthfully honest. It really doesn't. And I needed a whole bunch of extra blankets. But I mean, if it's warm enough, it's okay. I did have another one that was a lot better, but my tent collapsed and flooded during this tropical storm, because there's been a lot of those. And it's already been broke since the second day the resource center gave it to me. Because, the walls broke. It's hard to explain. The pole thing broke or something like that. And it was a pop-up tent. And it's it was still able to stay up, but it would try to cave in on me in the middle of the night. But then once that tropical storm came and that rain started pouring down, and the rain fly that I also got from the resource center started caving in and pulling down on the top of the tent, then I had to hop out before it collapsed and flooded. It already had water in it for a good couple weeks, a little bit anyway, in the back. So the water pulled it down the hill I was on even more. And that was really, really a dangerous situation. But anyway, when that happened, my other sleeping bag that I got from this church had what was it about? Oh, yeah, it got wet. And then somebody ended up taking it and then they washed it at this shelter place I'm at now. Because they have this day service thing where you could like come and sit here, and the more the resource center for people 15 to 24 was closed, the more I had to start coming here to this shelter place to go just sit here for the day services and get leftovers. So yeah, I got this. I think I got this blanket. They had got me this. This is a pee funnel. And it's like, if you can't really see and it's really, really dark, you're still bound to make a whole bunch of mistakes and get pee all over your sleeping bag and whatever else in your tent. But like, if you have a good light, it could work out. But then it's also like, you try to stay under the covers still at the same time because it's really, really cold at night sometimes. And that also makes you more prone to mistakes because I have so many stories of me just accidentally getting pee everywhere with the funnel and definitely before the funnel. But anyway, I got this fan, which also has a light and you can use it to charge your phone. Doesn't charge phones that well because it goes dead really easily charging phones. But the fan is good. Actually, funny enough, it's crazy that this thing even still works because when my tent had collapsed and flooded, this was in the tent under like a whole river of water because it was flooding really bad too. And the light was on, and I had to like dig all through my tent and try to figure out where the door was even at because it flipped too when it slid down the hill, and I had to figure out how to get in the tent to get this out, and it still worked. And then I got these as a gift for this Christmas donation program thing. So somebody in the city or whatever had got me these shoes right here. And then this was from another program. This was from some program for kids who were in school or whatever, but I wanted to be a student, and also due to the whole age thing, and people think I'm 12 anyway, so they know, or at least, well, they know I'm under 18, but then it causes like a lot of crap because I look a lot younger than I actually am. But anyway, due to that, they let me, well, they enrolled me in the program actually, and they let me get these shoes. Which there were a couple other ones I had got at first because I kept saying the wrong size, but then eventually I figured out what size I wore, which is really, really sad that I didn't know. But it's different in different shoes though, so I got these. Somebody else had got me those. I think, no, that was somebody from this church. I was about to say I think it was some people that I was working for at one point in time, but actually it wasn't. They got me these, actually. Because when I had ran, I was wearing some Jordans that kind of fell apart. Actually, I left them in this dude's car because he was letting me keep my stuff in his car because, of course, I didn't have anywhere to put my stuff. And then there was plenty of points in time where I didn't have a tent. Because people think that tents last a long time and that they're going to last forever. But something you should know if you're doing the lay low till 18 thing is that you're going to need more than one tent, and you're probably going to need more than one of a lot of things, because the longer you wait, or even not even the longer wait you have till 18, it's just that things happen, and none of your stuff is going to last forever, most likely. And then, of course, you could get robbed, too, if you're too close to other people or just in a bad area. But I got these for this Christmas thing. They also got me some books. They just got me 3 more books. And I guess since they're kind of like self-help books, it was able to be bought with this mental health grant thing from this mental health program. But my other books were able to be bought with this school grant thing that this resource center had. And the other books were, what was it? One was about engineering and the different branches of engineering. And then the other one was about, what was that? It was about trading and investing. So basically the stock market. And I think there was another book, but I don't know. If there was, it probably went down in the flood. So I got this umbrella from the resource center. And then, of course, some give out emergency blankets. I got this poncho from a winter storm kit that the resource center was giving out for the one for people 15 to 24. It's really for foster kids, but I was able to go too. Which, that's a long story that I did tell on my other channels, but I removed those videos, so yeah, that's that. This is actually a good poncho because usually ponchos are really cheap and it's like they break and rip the same day you wear them. But this is a good one. And the winter storm kit stuff, which would be this poncho, and it wasn't that umbrella, it was another one, but, or was it that one? Because I think I've gotten 2 umbrellas from them before. I don't even know, but the umbrella and this, it came in this waterproof bag, which I now use for my notebooks. They kept getting wet all the time. I'm trying to think. I got a couple notebooks from them. And it's like, there is some stuff you can get. And people do get mad because really the resource centers, they do act funny with funding. They will try to keep stuff a secret that they're supposed to do and they don't do. And there's a lot of things that they don't do. And that's kind of why even way before I was in this predicament, I had went from saying there is no system put in place to help people under 18 to saying there is no system put in place to really help anybody, especially anybody but perpetrators. But there are little things you can get from people that can be helpful. So you just gotta take the little things, I guess. Take them and run with them. But yeah, so when you're in predicaments like this, a lot of the stuff that you get is going to be from money you make while busking, which busking is basically when you can stand on the sidewalk and sing. This depends on where you're at though, because honestly all of it is really illegal. And even when it is legal in a certain spot, people will still be mad at you and talk junk to you and tell you to move and stuff. And yeah, but you can make money from busking, so like stand somewhere and sing. I tried selling art that honestly it really didn't work out. And it's like there's this idea that people have that because I'm younger and I look younger and all that, it's supposed to make people care more and it makes people give me stuff and do stuff. But that's really bullcrap. And I don't know why people think that. If anything, it may make people want to report you more, which is why knowing how to lay low is really, really important. But anyway, it was something else. Oh yeah. And then when you're not making money from like busking or panhandling, which I wouldn't advise anybody to try to panhandle. If anything's not gonna work, that's definitely not gonna work. That's why I don't do it. For one, it was even embarrassing for me to even start holding up a sign to try to sell the art. So of course I really can't do the whole panhandling thing. You may be able to find under the table work. I was never able to find under the table work, not anything real, to be honest. I mean, the entrepreneur stuff works for a while sometimes, but trying to work under the table for other people and other people's businesses, that really didn't work out for me, especially because of a lot of racial stuff with that. But maybe it'll work for somebody else. It does work for some people. I've heard people be able to find jobs working under the table at people's restaurants for $15 an hour at 13, and that money was able to be used for them to do the whole lay low till 18 thing, and even rent out places where they don't really ask for much or they don't really care and they just want the money. But that didn't and has not worked for me, and I haven't found anything like that. I mean, even finding jobs over the table, 18 plus is hard sometimes, or a lot of the time, really. I'm trying to think about, oh yeah, and then the other thing, other stuff you get will be from finding people that are nice enough to get you stuff. Which I don't like to go around asking people for stuff, but sometimes if you're busking and the person doesn't want to give you money because the whole you're crazy on drugs trope, because you're homeless or other reasons like them just not having any cash or they don't want to buy whatever you're selling, sometimes instead of them giving you whatever amount of money or buying whatever, I guess that's kind of the same thing, they'll just offer you other stuff like food or blankets, which is how I got a couple pairs of these socks. And then those two blankets, the two on the top, it looks like it's one, but it's two of the same blankets. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I think he did get something else though. But no, it was just those blankets and then a couple of these socks. These are actually really good socks. I had other thick socks, but honestly, they really didn't keep my feet warm like that. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Maybe I'll make a part two. But this is kind of just the pros and cons of the pros and the pros and cons of being in the area with resource centers.